Something that really helped me on my journey through unlocking emotions and getting in touch with how I feel was doing something called a life inventory. Now, there is a program called the self-authoring tool or the self-authoring program. I'll put a link in either up here, that side somewhere, there. Um, uh, Linking how to get there. And it's basically an online web program that you type into, use a keyboard, and you break your life down into epochs, so a segment of your life. And it was really helpful for me to break down my life into episodes, epochs where I felt certain things, when I felt like I'd changed or where I'd grown. Like one of my earlier memories was being with my granddad, and until I worked with this self-authoring suite, I didn't realize just how much feelings I had for my granddad. And he died when I was quite young. We moved out to Australia when I was quite young, and I was quite fond of my granddad. He was like a very soft man. Masculine, but he allowed me to be me. He's one of the few people in my life that allowed me to be me, and just feeling that now, I can feel I'm feeling quite overwhelmed by it because it's something that I miss. I really miss. And when we came to Australia, I didn't have that. Like I didn't have someone that reinforced me to be me. So I continuously adapted to be what I thought my parents wanted me to be, and kind of suppressed who I was. And I've uncovered a lot of that uncovered a lot of that in therapy. But being able to inventory your life is really important. And what I found, a lot of feelings started coming up, um, like sadness and grief and sorrow and also a lot of nostalgia as well. Like, well, I've had some beautiful moments in my life where, and it really helped me tap into like gratitude, which is really important because you need to have, if you go into a dark place and you think there is just nothing in your life that's worthwhile, gratitude is really, really important. And the term gets thrown around a lot, and like you read on like image macros and things, and you go, yeah, okay, gratitude. What the hell is that? But when you realize that you look back on some moments in your life, depending on what kind of life that you've had, just small moments where you've just stopped and been you, or moments when you've just achieved something that was you never thought you were going to achieve. Then just be able to sit in that and know, you're a very special human. You've achieved great things. There were moments when you were really you, and you didn't feel the pressures of the world or whatever external things that were going on that you felt you needed to adapt to. Like it was just you and the universe, or you and someone that you loved, whether it was an ex or a grandparent or another parent or a brother or a sister. Like it was just you in this moment in time, which is really precious to you. So a life inventory is really important. So when you do this, I highly recommend it. Or journal, like as a daily basis, like journal as well, as you start to take stock of whatever's going on. But looking back into the past, you give a lot of fruit and inspiration for looking at your emotions right now. And also, you also take stock of patterns in your life as well, where you start writing down like, well, in high school this happened, and now in adulthood the same thing's happening in relationships or with jobs, and you go, the common denominator is me here. Like you can't keep blaming everyone for all this shit. It's like you are the issue, and that's okay because we're all in the same boat. So they go beating yourself up over it. And when the feelings come up, don't go beat a nut over it. Don't go bust a nut over it. Don't go masturbate. Don't go eat something. Don't go boot up a game. Don't go pick up a book. Don't go grab your phone and look at Snapchat or Facebook or Twitter or Grindr or Tinder or whatever your go-to is to like escape feeling the feelings of that are really fucking uncomfortable, because feelings for guys that haven't experienced them fully are really uncomfortable. That's why I understand that. But it's really important to feel it, and if you can give a name to it, it's even better. So if you know if it's anger, if you know if it's sorrow, and I've touched on this before. Um, yeah, I think that's really important. And when you take stock of what's happened and you feel it, you also reflect on relationships as well. Conversations that you had, how the relationship broke down, how the relationship started, where you met. All these things are really, really, really important. And also, like if you start to journal on a daily basis, like where you feel like you're avoiding conflict, because like you may have had really passive aggressive parents, which would suppress their emotion and like, snip and snipe at each other, and that's just as aggressive as yelling and going berserk. Like passive aggressive, it's horrible and it's deceitful and it's not true. It's a fake way of being, and it's really unhealthy. And a lot of people justify it's okay. Like I don't like being aggressive, but you're still being passive aggressive, and it can be quite threatening to people, and it can be quite threatening in a relationship too. Like if you can't own your feelings, then you're going to attract people that either bring that out of you or are passive aggressive as well, and then you feel like you need to criticize them, or you just snipe and snipe and snipe and snipe and snipe, and the whole relationship is just basically you both of you are just hiding from your feelings. Uh, but I think men not being taught, not being nurtured into express their feelings, um, that can turn into your self worth. Your feelings aren't worthy. You don't value feelings, which means you value external things. So you value cars, you value houses, you value money, you value status, you value a whole bunch of other stuff, and then you will try and find women that value those things too. So you live in this and that might be fine for you. If you both of you are happy in that relationship where you both only look at material things and status, then to each their own. But for those of you that want to do emotional work, you're going to find that really challenging, because your feelings, you will want your feelings to be valued and respected, because they're part of your core. They're part of who you are. So your market value and what you see as values will start to change. And that can be scary, but I think for mankind in general, I think it will be worthwhile going forward. I think it's really worthwhile that you make that choice and go into it. So this self-authoring suite is usually got a 2-for-1 deal. So I think it's like $30 I think. Don't know. But I'll put the link in that side up there somewhere, and have check it out. I highly recommend it. So you could give a copy to a mate or a brother or somebody else, that will send him a link to this video and say, hey, look, Fleet might want to do this. So do it. Do it. Highly recommend it. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.